they're already under stress while they haven't started even the task itself. And this is very significant because if you're already off capacity, how you'll be able to, fulfill whatever task you need to do. And this is a big mistake of all big companies. It's not just one or two. I mean, all big companies in these days, they just face, we need to get a value, we need to get an achievement. And they force everyone to that achievement without fulfilling each people value. I mean, people are losing their values and their skills within the teams because they're already under stress just by that and not talking well to each other. So this way, there's no prominent communication between people already. So sometimes meetings are settled, sometimes without even being coordinated with time. And the most significant part is when people go to a meeting and start talking to other people from other divisions, it's totally different work, but there's some point of connection within the meeting. And they just start a main phrase, let's just say, of the subject, but they forgot that the other person has no idea what they're talking about. So this is a main phrase as my own experience. Before I was on my own group, I worked also in large corporations and had very large teams, and I saw this happen over and over again. And this is a common mistake. And when I got in, I said, "Guys, do you actually understand yourselves?" Because I mean, you're talking about, like, for example, you're talking onions, this guy's talking apples. So how do we put all this conversation together to get to a match point saying that we're going to this path? It's not possible because no one is understanding each other. The points of convention are totally out of scope, and then there's no result. But what had happened? It happened that you lost 1 or 2 hours, and people not even realizing that they lost the time while they could do something in fulfillment to get that actual result. And that creates lack of sensibility. Why? Because people, when they go to a position or a post, they're already under stress. And of course, each person reacts differently. A person can be reactive to stress, totally different from another person. Can react more normal or less normal, think better, think less. But what we get here, no result. And you cannot achieve a fulfillment result when it's supposed to be a result of 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 people, and they're not having that fulfillment themselves between them. So how do we solve this? Well, there's a lot of politics in between, of course, and this creates also the environment that people are put in because they need to get to the end of the month. They need to fulfill all the results, and this creates also competition between people. And this is the wrong part. In any environment, in any group, in any company, in any organization, doesn't matter what you do, should not have internal competition because it's not about competing between themselves or pointing the finger where is a problem. And this is a very common problem in any corporation, especially large, big ones. Because, for example, imagine a large corporation, he comes, CEO said, "Oh, we lost value on the shares. We need to come up with a solution right now, right now." And everyone stops what they're doing and they start getting into that. What strategy would gonna make in 5, 10, 30 minutes? Nothing. It's just stress, not work done, and no strategy at all. So the main thing what I'm trying to get on this perspective is if you have common sense and sensibility, you should work and use people's skills, not use them as objects. And this is very common in any organization. People in these days, they go to an organization, they try to get in with their skills, but then the organization forgets that they hired them for having their skills. And those skills are not being used at all on a daily basis. So they're just going on a mechanical routine until the mechanic broke because there won't be a result on that mechanic. So it's like you put an engine on, you follow through with the accelerator, and you expect the engine will always be working like that. It's not possible because it will overheat, will eventually run out of fuel. You know, many environments. So with a human being, it's exactly the same. And organizations feels like they don't care. They're just there and they will fulfill their duties accordingly as they want, and they think that is actually the great strategy of putting in. So, what I advise in many corporations think is that you need to come up with a strategy and in common sense. And when you use the skills of the people, really use them, you know, put them together. Say, what strategy we're in. So, you need to go to that path. So you have the proper people, you have the tools, but you don't know how to use the tools. You forgot about it. You forgot about those people that are in there were hired for a certain capacity and certain skills and not being used at all. So this is just the perspective, and this is where it all starts. If everyone in any organization, corporation, doesn't matter if you're a politician, if you implement the proper program, that actually get incentivate positively anyone that works with it, of course, the result's going to be completely different. You get many other perspectives that maybe you not even think of that could have the proper solution on it. But you have to hear, the person talking calmly, not under stress, to achieve that result. Because I had situations, for example, I was seated, coming three people to me, and they all talking at the same time to me, and they expect me to answer to the three of them at the same time. What I did most times, I got up, I got out of the meeting and said, "What are you doing?" Said, "Do you guys understand yourselves?" No. So you need to go in terms. I need to understand what is the problem, what each one of you, what problem you have, for me to understand and try to make a solution out of it. I mean, talking at the same time with three different things, and which the root, I don't know. This is a thing that is common mistake for people, usually. When they go to a story, they forgot that the person does not know the whole story, and they are talking like the person already knows the whole story, how it is, how it happened, and how they come up with to a solution. They expect always to have a solution for everything. That does not happen. No one will have the perfect solution for everything, and this I learned from my own skin too. I mean, there's no perfect solution because our humans, we're not perfect. So how are we going to have a perfect solution? That will never happen. You can have the most appropriate way, if you think clearly, to get to achievement result. But you'll not get the perfect solution. That solution even will have to be regapped, re-educated most of the times to get that approximate result. This is what I always say in speeches and large corporations, that the mindset needs to change. It's not about just achieving the result. If you expect to achieve results with this strategy, no results will happen. And this has been happening for many years now. You can see the results financially in large corporations, they've been degrading because they think that the way they treat people internally and their strategies will become to achieve better results because they are changing the financial strategy. It doesn't work that well. And this of course will create that lack of sensibility. People will start disrespecting other people because they are under pressure. They feel stress because sometimes they get blank because they cannot even think. So, of course, what solution will come out of a person in that situation, in that environment? Zero. And this I mean, I saw it with my own eyes hundreds of times, and I said, why don't we just calm down, clear up the solution instead of pointing fingers? There's a problem. Okay, there's a problem. So let's discuss what is the problem, go to the root of the problem, and then try to make up a solution between all of us, not screaming at each other or disrespecting or putting pressure or making competition. No, I'm better than you, or you are better than this one. I want this because I need my position. And this is the mindset that is being created in all major corporations. So working in that stage, always under pressure, people are always running because they think their job are under limitation, or they could be fired because they need to present results. You never present good results under that strategy, and you cannot swap a person all the time, because in certain positions, especially if it's a technical one, even replacing a person will take maybe months, depending what kind of programs the person was involved, to try to achieve just the information to try to make up a strategy. So he lose time over time, over time, over time. And I saw this happening, especially in the banking area and in telecoms. The last 5, 6 years has been always like that. What happens then? Lack of quality of service, lack of attendance. You call the call center to a person and you get badly attended because everyone is under pressure. No one has the proper information. The systems goes down. So it is just a major, understanding of why it needs to be changed. So if every executive in every company really start to change their strategy, they will see these results. And this is just a main concept I would like to add to the conversation.